I'm gonna be the most gorgeous woman that he's ever seen tonight.
That thing was like,
Oh my goodness. Hair was like,
Afro City. Girl, you look beautiful.
he's your husband. No, he's not my husband.
You want to hear God laugh? Tell him your plans. The New York Jets picked me up on draft day. I hit the wedge and everything goes black. It's over. You're done. God gave me this vision. 9 children, being married almost 15 years now. There is something that God is doing to call us to a higher level of trust in him. Organized chaos.
I was thinking the same 2 words.
We don't want to create an atmosphere where people are tolerated. We want an atmosphere where people are celebrated.
We'll go out, get some fresh air, and sometimes we'll do a hike, and on that hike we'll just stop and then open up our Bibles and just have some discussion. Sometimes we can get so busy that we almost forget to connect with the kids. And so this is my intentional connection time. So we're out, we'll play like different gym games or running games, and I'll just be a big kid with them and we'll have fun.
We want each kid to know that God has a purpose for them, and they've been placed here strategically by the Lord for this time that they're living in. He has a call in their life, and they can discover that there's no such thing as a junior Holy Spirit. God can speak to you at 5 years old and you'll know what you were born to do. We want to yield ourselves to whatever God's purpose and plan is, with the grace he's extended to us to operate with 9 children, being married almost 15 years now, and just seeing God's hand at work. We recognize that there is something that God is doing to call us to a higher level of trust in him.
Sanai is the oldest. She's 12. She's about to turn 13, so she's really excited about that.
She is a mini-me of Lisa. They have the same sister locks. She's just got this ability to manage and oversee and lead with strength.
As a baby, she was strong and just like,
yeah, she was barking orders before she could talk.
like,
I was like, girl, where'd you get that from? I wonder where she got it from.
I like to write songs and I like to sing them. I also like to babysit.
Next we have Mondoe. He's 10 years old. I call him the mocha me. He's got a lot better hair. He's a lot better looking than I am. He is very athletic, but he also has this entrepreneurial gift as well.
I have a business idea to have a pool business and sell pool floats and stuff.
Very, very competitive.
Great communicator. 9 and Zoe are 8.
I'm Zion, and that's my twin.
They're complete opposites.
Complete.
The oldest is the bubbly butterfly. Every squirrel that runs by, she's chasing the squirrel. I love people. La la la. You know, life is amazing. Her sister is the opposite. Disciplined, responsible. Everything has to be done with excellence till it's finished. Shiloh is 6 years old.
I like to learn about God.
She loves to write. She started walking at 8 months old. She is able to articulate herself with tremendous clarity. Look at how small she is. You'll think she's gonna, kind of talk a little goo-goo gaga language. Then she opens up her mouth and she's like, Dad, I don't think that is appropriate. And I didn't feel welcome. And I'm like, how old are you? Are you kidding me?
And I'm really strong.
Next we have Zayden. We call Zayden the bull in a china shop.
I'm 5.
Zayden was born on the 4th of July. So there's fireworks going off outside, okay? He's born. The nurse grabs him. She's like, "Ooh, you have a linebacker. He's a big boy." And I had never seen my wife crawling off the bed while she was having him.
Oh,
She's
my
like, "Ooh."
goodness.
She's crawling through the crack of the corner of the room. I'm like, "Baby, there's a wall."
I was gonna leave my body and I was just gonna send.
There's a wall right there. You can't go any further.
He's so massive, but he's so cuddly.
He's a gentle giant.
He's touching you all day and kissing all day.
Just something about his empathy gift. He's very alert and aware of the emotional atmosphere in any room he steps into.
Josiah's 3.
JoJo.
I think Josiah might be the next heavyweight boxer. He has no fear of anything. We called him Boss Baby for the longest time. That was his nickname.
Definitely.
And he'll tell you, "I'm the Boss Baby."
Yes.
Without a smirk. He would just look at you and say, "I'm the Boss Baby."
He believes it. He's like, "This is why I was born. I'm the boss." Next we have Cairo.
From, no, say 2.
Can I say 2?
2.
He is the golden boy. So I don't know how this happened. This brother is blonde. Where did you get that, man? And he's got hazel eyes. We taking pictures. This dude is like glamour shots all the time, always on. So he just came deep in the genealogy.
Kyle is 1 month. She's a lot like Sinai, the oldest. Very strong. I know what I want.
We have 4 boys, 4 girls.
All the boys thought I was a boy and all the girls thought I was a girl.
Come out, boom, I'm holding the baby. I'm like, it's a, I can't tell what it is.
Doctor's
The
like-
umbilical cord's in the way, move. So I moved the umbilical cord, it's a girl. And I'm like, praise God.
You said, I guess it's a girl.
I'm
And the doctor was like, you guess, is it?
All of us have had those moments, if you're a believer, where you're reading the word and it just jumps off the page. He hit me with one of those in Psalm 127 where it says, children are a heritage from the Lord. The fruit of the womb is his reward. Blessed is the man whose quiver is filled with them. I'm reading this and it was like this moment in which God gave me this vision that was so inspiring that it brought me to tears. You see the silhouette of this large family, but you can't see their faces. You can see this radiating love from the Lord on the family, and then you see it spilling over to the children. I just remember looking at this family and I was like, God, who is that? I was like, that family is beautiful. Who is it? I want to know him. I need to know him. And he's like, son, you really want to know who that is? And I was like, yeah. He was like, son, that's your family. My dad sat me down at the age of 14 years old. He said, son, I'm not gonna be able to afford to send you to college, so you're gonna have to get a scholarship. My brothers, we all play football. We wound up getting those scholarships, athletic scholarships to play football.
I met him in college. His version of the story is much better than mine.
Good memories flooding my soul right now. I'm a freshman at the University of Delaware, and they have a freshman orientation party. I step in, and it was literally as if time stopped. She literally walked across the room and I was like, hallelujah. I mean, I heard the music, I can hear my heart beating at the same time. I'm like, what on earth is this beautiful creation doing here? And it wasn't just the outward beauty. I could see just the emanating beauty from her heart.
I don't remember that. I still, to this day, think he may have gotten me confused or something, because I do not recall that.
Next thing you know, I'm in her face. And I'm like, hey, how you doing? I'm Mondoe. What's your name? She's like, I'm Lisa. I've been here for camp for football for a few weeks. I haven't seen you on campus. She was like, well, I haven't seen you on campus. I'm a part of the Black Student Union. You've never come to any of our events, and I'm out of here. And she walks away, and I was like, I'm in love. Oh, Jesus, I'm in love. She don't even remember my face. God, I'm willing to wait my entire college tenure to meet the wife that you have for me. I don't want to be in a relationship unless it's my wife. That was my prayer. No sooner than right after I prayed that prayer, it was almost as if I was bumping into her every day.
This was during the time where I was really searching out my relationship with the Lord. Ironically, he was doing the same thing. He was on the same journey.
We would just find ourselves in these awkward moments where we're just standing there, just kind of staring at each other like, hi. She's like, hi. Oh, la, 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 la.
I remember him asking me, are you single? I said, oh, I am very single. I didn't come out of the relationship just yet. Not until our first date, and I called the guy like literally 2 hours before our date and was like, it is over. Oh, I'm gonna be like the most gorgeous woman that he's ever seen tonight. The date part is so hilarious because I had braids. The day of my date, I took out my braids. Oh my goodness.
We had a time set, and I mean, it's 30, 45 minutes, an hour later, I'm just sitting in my dorm room. I'm kind of like, I haven't heard from her, like what's going on? So I finally call her.
He's calling me. I'm not answering my phone. I finally answered it.
Like, I think we might need to reschedule. I was already hurting because, she had already dissed me twice.
He thinks I'm playing games with him now.
Can I just come upstairs? Can we just talk face to face? She was like, yeah, absolutely. So I come upstairs.
And my hair was like,
She put both her fingers in the electrical socket. That thing was like, I mean, hair everywhere, Afro City.
I'm so embarrassed that I'm about to go out on a date.
I'm like, girl, you look beautiful.
And so I really believe this.
Like she was my daughter. I grabbed her hair and I just put it back in a ponytail. And I'm like, you ready to go?
And we go out on the most amazing date. And I think that's the night that I fell in love with him.
Rewind to when we first started hanging out. I'm standing in her dorm room. I'm looking into her eyes, beautiful brown eyes that she has. I'm just into the door frame enough where I have no peripheral vision and I can't really see outside of the door frame. Over this shoulder, I literally hear, hey, you looking at your wife. It was audible, just like I'm talking is the exact same way that I heard it. Who is that? You're looking at your wife. More authoritative. I look over my shoulder, there's nobody in sight. We're in this massive hallway in the college dorms. You can hear a pin drop. What did I eat for lunch? Am I going crazy? Is that the pizza? Like, what was that?
We dated for almost 4 years. We went our separate ways. It was beautiful because during that time, that's when God really took a grip of both of our hearts and was like, wake up, you need to follow me, live the life that I'm calling you to live.
God, you're first, then my family, mind you, I'm single at this time, and then football, that's my job. And he said, are your priorities in order? I was like, absolutely. He was like, no, they're not. I'm like, I'm talking to the wrong person. God, there's no way, you're first. He's like, yeah, you got that right. I was like, then my family. He's like, that's where you got it wrong. He says, son, I've given you a family. Now where is your wife?
I remember having a vision and the Lord said to me in my heart, he's your husband. No, he's not my husband. Like, I'm gonna move on with my life and my career, and I'm gonna show him that I don't need him. You know, that one of those kind of moments that I'm having with God just kept pressing on my heart.
2 weeks later, it's a Friday night, and I get a phone call from her. It's a 302 area code, and her and I hadn't talked in 8 months. I didn't know if she could have been married. She could have been, expecting a child. I had no idea. She said, listen, I got something really important I need to talk to you about.
I felt the Lord say something to me, and I want to talk to you about it to see if the Lord is speaking to you in that way, and if not, I really want to move on with my life. I felt stuck.
I said, okay. I sat down because I didn't want to pass out because my knees were buckling. I was so nervous. I said, tell me what it is. She said, God spoke to me and said that you're my husband, and I need to know if you are in agreement with that, if your spirit's bearing witness with that. If it is, I would like for us to move forward. If not, then I want to move on with my life. And he took me back to that moment. He took me back to that moment, man, where I was standing in the doorway and I'm looking at her, and he spoke it and he said, that's your wife. And I was like, okay, Lord. Bing, bing, bing.
5 months later, we were married.
Here we are almost 15 years later with 9 children. It's an absolute miracle. God, I got a plan. You want to hear God laugh? Tell him your plans. I want to go to the NFL. I want to win a Super Bowl, and I want to take that Lombardi trophy, and I want to tell the world about Jesus in 30 seconds because I know everybody's going to watch that Super Bowl game. God is allowing me to be a mouthpiece, to be a voice at the University of Delaware on that college campus. We won a national championship, and in 2003, I was just like, this is amazing. It looks as if this dream is going to come to pass. The New York Jets picked me up on draft day as an undrafted free agent. I'm in the locker room, we're in New York, and we're getting ready to go out pregame. I walk past the mirror with my helmet on and my shoulder pads on. I saw Davis on the back of my jersey, and it was almost like time stopped in that moment. And I remember being that 16-year-old kid almost a decade before saying, God, I want to use this platform to glorify you. I just remember thinking, God, you got me here. My first game, I wound up getting an interception. They promoted me up to start on special teams in the second game, and I come out on the first play of the game against the Minnesota Vikings. This wedge included some of the ugliest, biggest, nastiest, hairiest, meanest guys I've ever seen in my life. I'm running full speed, and if you're the first guy down the field, your job is to hit that wedge with everything you got and split it so the other guys can get in and make the tackle. Well, lo and behold, I hit the wedge and everything goes black. It's over. You're done. In that moment, the enemy whispered in my ear, Mondoe, that dream you had to glorify God with the NFL means not for long. I feel like I hit a quarter-life crisis. If you can think of a job, I probably applied for it.
My heart started grieving. I need to go up and get saved today. Now he wants to save his wife.
God, and he just said, we're gonna have this big family. It's gonna be amazing.
I didn't receive it. I did not really embrace motherhood or even marriage.
Who would want to birth somebody into that mess?
And I felt like I was, my heart was so hardened. You know, from just from some of the things that I had gone through.
God is love, and love comes from God. In 1 John, the Bible tells us that God is not only all loving, but that He actually is love itself. The heart of the Parent Compass television show is to bring the transforming love of God to families everywhere. In every Parent Compass episode, true stories reveal family struggles and how their lives were radically changed by the love of God. Parent Compass, an award-winning television series, is completely funded by people like you. If you have been touched by God and you want to share God's love to others, would you please pass it on? Jesus tells us to go into all the world and to tell about Him. With your donation, you allow us to take this television show into many different nations and in many different languages, free of charge. And a portion of your donation goes to Parent Compass Outreach to feed starving children. Your gift does so much. To make your tax-deductible gift, go to parentcompass.tv/donate. That's parentcompass.tv/donate. And thank you for sending love and hope around the world.